Oh, you want to hear Walk, Don't Run? All right. Let me get a pick here.
How many times have I played that song? I couldn't tell you, but it's true. I never get tired of playing Walk, Don't Run.
Good song, good sound, and no language barrier.
Well, it just has that quality that everyone likes, and I don't think it will ever go out of style, even though now it's 40 years later.
I was actually a used car salesman, and I was working in a car lot in Seattle. And actually, Bob came in to buy a car, my partner of almost 40 years. So I did sell him a car, and we had talked, and I asked him what kind of work he did, and he said he was a bricklayer. And so I said, well, do you think you could get me on where you're working? And he said, well, I'll sure try.
We discovered that we both had an interest in guitar, and I think we each had a real cheap acoustic guitar, and we knew about 3 chords. We went to a pawn shop and bought some electric guitars and an amplifier, and so then we could turn up the volume a little bit. Boy, we thought that was really, really good.
And we bought chord books and tried to learn as many chords as we could. And just playing together, we got a lot of response from people who heard us play for the first time. They, even at that time, they said, you have a different sound. At the time, we didn't know a bass player or a drummer, so it was just the 2 of us. And I tried to make up with the rhythm and playing a kind of more of a percussion sound, you know, hitting the strings hard. And he played, in order to make up for anything else that wasn't there, any other instrument, he played a lead, and he'd throw in a chord every once in a while and use that little whammy bar to make it almost kind of Hawaiian sounding. We'd work 8 or 10 hours a day. Then we'd go to work at the club and start about 9 and wouldn't finish till 1. But we really wanted the experience. They paid us practically nothing, but then we got a hold of a bass player and a guy that played lead guitar. He was one of the best lead guitar players in the town that we were living in at the time, which was Tacoma, Washington. And his name was Noki Edwards.
I was working with a country artist, Buck Owens, and Don and Bob came in the club where I was working and saw me play and liked the way I played and asked me if I wanted to join up with them.
He joined us, and we had been playing a song that we picked up in a Chet Atkins album called Walk Don't Run. And it's an album called Hi-Fi in Focus. And we were in awe of Chet Atkins because he played fingerstyle, and when he played Walk Don't Run, it was almost jazzy. And a guy named Johnny Smith, who was a jazz guitarist, actually wrote the song. Well, we couldn't play it like that. So what we did is to put it into our own style, and we played it with a rock beat.
During those times, I noticed that when they played Walk Don't Run, everyone danced and everyone clapped. Everyone liked that particular song. So then again, after several months, I thought, well, I think they probably deserve a chance to see maybe if they can make a record.
We'd have to always do that song 3 or 4 or 5 times a night because people just loved hearing it. So we decided to record that. It was an instrumental, but we thought that since so many people were requesting it, maybe it would be a good song for us.
So then I did take them to a studio in Seattle, Joe Bowles Custom Recorders it was called, and he had this recording business downstairs in his home.
Well, there was just mics all over here, mics all over the place, and this is where the musicians were, you know.
And do you remember the VeNtuReS?
Of course I remember the VeNtuReS. Mm-hmm.
And Walk Don't Run?
Walk Don't Run, I loved it. Mm-hmm.
Were you here when it was recorded?
Yes, I was here making coffee. Mm-hmm. All the kids that came here were nice kids, the Wailers, the Sonics, all of them. Yeah, so no problem with any of those kids. They were all just around here. Anyhow, it's just pretty much like it was when Joe was doing the recording. That's all I can say.
The record played on radio stations, local stations, on our label. Bob Reisdorf heard it. He owned Dalton Records. He already had some million sellers with the Fleetwoods, with Come Softly to Me and Mr. Blue.
The VeNtuReS came and they played their first record for me. And I said, you know, I think you're very good, but this is not, this isn't it. And suggested they keep doing it and come again.
We had a hard time getting it played on the radio. We take it in, or my mom would. See, my mom started with us too, and she did all the what I consider to be legwork, you know, going around and getting things organized, because like I said, we were working construction during the day, so we couldn't do it.
I took her around to the radio stations, and I thought, well, it's something else new for me I had never done. But I thought, well, I'm going to make myself do this. So I did. I went around to talk to all the program directors, KJR especially. They played rock and roll. So they used this Walk Don't Run song as what they called a news kicker. Every hour they had news, and before they put on the news program, they played what they called a news kicker. Pretty soon, they announced over the air, please don't call. Please don't call anymore. Our phone lines are jammed. We will play this record in its entirety for you.